Hello family, Mohan here. Welcome back to our program, In the Journey. Today, we are diving into a powerful truth every entrepreneur, visionary, trader, creative, and leader must understand. Discipline is not punishment. Discipline is identity. Most people think discipline is forcing yourself to do hard things, but real discipline begins when your actions become a reflection of who you truly are. Right now, many people are struggling with consistency. You start something, then stop. You feel motivated, then disappear. You make promises to yourself, then break them. And after repeating this cycle for years, you begin to lose trust in yourself. But the real problem is not laziness. The real problem is identity misalignment. Because people naturally protect and repeat who they believe they are. If your identity is unstable, your discipline will also be unstable. We are exploring this through the entrepreneur journey, specifically in the embodying phase. The embodying phase is where knowledge becomes behavior, vision becomes routine, and identity becomes lifestyle. This is the stage where you stop talking about the new version of yourself and start living it consistently. Most people approach discipline from force. They try to force routines, force motivation, force consistency, but force creates resistance. Real discipline happens when your habits align with your identity. You do not rise to your goals. You fall to your self-image. That means if you still identify as inconsistent, you will sabotage consistency. If you still identify as weak, discipline will feel painful. If you still identify with survival, growth will always feel temporary. The identity loop. Your identity creates your behavior. Your behavior creates your habits. Your habits reinforce your identity. That is why repeated small actions matter more than temporary motivation. Every time you wake up early, keep your word, study when you don't feel like it, continue when nothing is working, you are not just building discipline. You are building self-trust. I realized this deeply during my own journey. There was a period where I had big visions, big goals, and big ideas. But my daily behavior didn't match the future I wanted. I wanted freedom, but my habits still reflected survival. I wanted growth, but my routines still reflected inconsistency. And I realized something. Discipline is not about becoming somebody else. It is about proving to yourself who you are becoming. Psychologically, the brain trusts repetition more than intention. You can say, I want success, I want growth, I want change. But your mind believes what you repeatedly do, not what you repeatedly say. That is why one disciplined action, repeated daily, is more powerful than one emotional breakthrough. Stop asking, how do I force myself to stay disciplined? Start asking, what kind of person naturally lives this way? Because when identity changes, discipline becomes less about pressure and more about alignment. In the entrepreneur journey, your brand is your visible behavior. Your frequency is your internal standard. People think discipline is only external, posting consistently, waking up early, working hard, but true discipline starts internally. Emotional control, self-respect, integrity, consistency when nobody is watching. If your frequency is chaotic, your discipline will collapse under pressure. But when your identity becomes stable, discipline becomes natural. In business, don't build routines around pressure. Build systems around the identity you want to become. In trading, your results will eventually mirror your emotional discipline. In decision-making, stop making decisions based on mood. Make decisions based on standards. In daily life, your morning routine is not just productivity, it is identity training. In growth, every small promise you keep to yourself rebuilds self-trust. Most people wait to feel ready. Aligned people move before emotion agrees. Most people depend on motivation. Aligned people depend on standards. Most people restart every Monday. Aligned people create systems they can live with consistently. That is the difference between temporary hype and embodied identity. Let me ask you something. If someone watched your daily habits for 30 days, would they clearly see the future you say you want? Or would they see the identity you are still attached to? Don't just admire discipline. Practice becoming the version of yourself that naturally lives it. Today, keep one promise to yourself. Complete one difficult task. Choose consistency over emotion, because every disciplined action says, I trust the person.